Good morning, everybody. Charlie here, November Juliet 7 Victor with Red Summit RF. Today, I'm continuing my series on portable Morse code paddles. Welcome back to those of you who have been following along. I appreciate your support. And for those of you who are new, I hope that you find these videos informative and helpful. Today, we will be reviewing the Begali magnetic Traveler Light iambic paddle. But before we get over to the bench and check that out, let me remind you that you should check out the comments below in this video. Oftentimes people leave comments here that are supplemental to what I have in my review. They're very helpful at times, and so if you have more information, please add that, and also check out the comments to make sure that you have the full information before you make a purchase or make a decision on this paddle. Okay, let's get on over to the bench and check it out. Okay, so Begali Keys is a company based out of Italy with a global presence, and that's primarily due to their high-quality craftsmanship. At the time of this recording, the Begali Magnetic Traveler Light iambic paddle was selling for about $294 plus shipping, which I think is right around $30. Maybe I guess with the exchange rate it's $33, bringing the total purchase price to right around $327. You may feel that this is a steep price for a Morse code paddle. Many people do believe that, but I guess you have to decide for yourself if the craftsmanship and customer service and everything that comes along with the Begali provides you with the value that you're looking for. As for me, I own a Begali paddle, and I believe that the price is fair. So I want to thank my friend Kyle AA0Z for lending this traveler to me. He was very gracious in letting me try this out before I decide to purchase one. And this is something I recommend for everybody that they should do if they are looking to purchase a paddle. Maybe just borrow one from somebody who has one and see how you like it. This particular paddle is one that I have been avoiding to doing a review on, and that's primarily because I felt like it didn't fit the niche of the paddles in my series. I review paddles that are primarily for summits on the air, backpackers, and long-term hikers, and I felt that this paddle was just a little too bulky and heavy for the series. But after multiple people suggested that I give it a try, I relented, and I'm going to do just that. I gave it a review. I have had it out in the field for, I don't know, a good month, had multiple activations with it. So the website says that this is a key that addresses the needs of the traveling or backpacking ham in a non-compromised design. It combines construction elements found in their simplex and magnetic classic keys in a rugged package that will survive the rigors of the roving life. So that's a quote from their website. And I tend to agree with this statement overall. Although the Begali paddles almost always arrive without the need for adjustments, you can adjust the spacing with this back set of thumb screws. I think that all the paddles come with a spacing strip in their package, so if you need to adjust that, you can do that. The throw or tension is adjusted with these thumb screws here closer to the front. So again, this is for the spacing and this is for the throw or the tension. There's a couple on the back I was looking at too. These are irrelevant to the adjustment, and Bruna said just ignore these. Okay, so let's get this paddle on the scale. Lay it on there, and it appears as though this is going to be 491 grams. When I weighed it earlier, it was 493. All right, well, yeah, okay, so we'll just stick with 492. It's probably right on the cusp. Yeah, see, it's just going back and forth. 492, but we always weigh our paddles with the cable. I'm just throwing one cable on here, so we're looking at 518 grams on this paddle. It's a pretty hefty weight for a portable paddle. It's by far the heaviest I've reviewed, and something to seriously consider before purchasing it, depending on what your operating style is. All right, let's go ahead and measure it. It's also going to be the bulkiest, I believe. So let's run this along here, and it looks like the length of this is going to be 11.5 centimeters, and the width, we're going to be looking at 4.4 centimeters, and then the height, I'll tip this over here real quick and get the height. Looks like, well, let's see. Let me make sure I get this measured right. Let me be fair about it. Okay, I'm seeing 4.8 centimeters for total volume, so for the total volume, if you calculate out the 11.5 and the 4.4 and the 4.8, the total volume of this is 242.88 cubic centimeters. So again, it's quite bulky and quite heavy, and also something that you should probably consider before purchasing the paddle. It does come with a mounting option. It has a leg strap mounting option, so if you look underneath here, you can see on either side here we've got the leg straps. Kyle didn't send me the actual leg straps, so no big deal, but it was pretty comfortable operating with this when I used my own leg strap, and it worked out great. I appreciate the fact that there was some thought put into the mounting of this paddle, and so as a bonus, it does stay put. If you, how you use this is you open up these flaps here on the sides, and so as a bonus, it does stay put if you have a flat surface to operate from, something like field day or parks on the air scenarios. Then you can really use this well. So it does have some pluses there. So the agility of this paddle really is unmatched. I have to say, I have only reviewed one or two other paddles that can even compete with this as far as the feel and performance of this paddle. This is one of the areas where this set of paddles, and in fact all Begali keys, really shine. I shared this with Brian when we were doing field day. We both love the use of this paddle as a field day option. I really enjoyed it as parks on the air, and I actually really liked it for summits on the air. I didn't mind the extra weight and the bulkiness in my pack in the situation that I was in. If it was a through hike or something more where you needed to consider your weight and size of your pack, it might be something to back away from. But as far as agility goes in and of itself, this is an excellent paddle. It comes with a 3.5 millimeter jack in the bottom here, so that's good. And you all know that I really like that feature in my paddles. This one also does come with a 3.5 millimeter cable. In fact, Begali sends a cable with all of their paddles, so you can make sure you don't have to go and buy another one. They'll send one for you. I mentioned earlier that this paddle is manufactured by Begali, and you can purchase directly from their website at www.india2romeotangofoxtrot.com, or from one of their endorsed and certified dealers, and you can find all the list of their dealers on their website. One thing to note is if you're not in a hurry and plan to attend one of the larger hamfests in the United States, or even in Europe, like I did with Hamvention, then you can save your shipping costs and buy direct at the hamfest. All right, so let's go ahead and get the grades going here. I am going to move this paddle off to the left here a little bit and just leave it set in here because we're going to put the grades right here. I always emphasize that these are my thoughts, and others may have different opinions about the grades, and that's fine. I just base this primarily on my field testing over the last month, and so with that, I will go ahead and dive right into the first element, which is the cost. And for the cost, I am going to give this an A, and people are going to say, "What? Give it an A?" Well, this is a very hard grade to determine. It really is. And there are some people who homebrew their paddles that would say, $300 or whatever dollars is just astronomically high, and they would give it a D. But that's them. I believe that these paddles are even though they're very expensive, they have all the qualities and craftsmanship that one would want, and I think that it's a fair grade because how I approach this is I ask myself, did I get a fair value for the product? Because price isn't everything. You all know that you can go out and you can spend a lot of money and get something that the product is not of value at all. You could also do the opposite. You could also spend a little bit of money and have a very, very high value product. And it really isn't just about cost. It's about how much value you get out of the product. And for me, I feel like it meets the value the cost does, and so I give it a grade. I think a grade of an A. I think it's a fair and evaluation of what this grade is worth to me. So as far as durability goes, I also give it an A. So this paddle is built with sealed precision bearings. It has these repelling magnets on it, and it's micro-threaded adjustments. It has gold contacts in there, and it's made of lightweight alloy. All of it is. I thought some people said they thought that this was plastic. It is not. It's metal, metal through and through, really. It's built with the solid materials all the way across, and the design lends itself to a very long-term use. So definitely durability will be an A on this one. As far as weight goes, I'm going to give it a D. Some of you may be shocked by that. Some of you may say, yeah, maybe even needs a lower grade than a D, but I think D is pretty fair. The weight is kind of a showstopper for a lot of people. We have to consider that I am comparing this paddle to many, many others that come in around, 20 grams, 30 grams, and this is, in the, approaching or over 500 grams. It's so much more heavy than a lot of the others that I review. I can't change my grading scale just for this paddle, but I can only recognize that this paddle doesn't quite fit into my series niche, and so it's somewhat of an unfair evaluation. But I do have to say, though, that it was a perfect weight for field day and for Parks on the Air. It's great because it's not something you would use on your bench, but it's not something you would take necessarily on long-term backpacking. But it's kind of a mid-range paddle. Definitely something you could use for light portable, or just from the car to a park or whatever. As far as the size goes, again, I'm going to give it a D. This paddle is competing with others again that are much smaller. As with the weight grade, I recognize that this paddle again doesn't quite fit my series niche, and so that's why the grade is what it is. But in a broader critique, I'm sure it would get a much higher grade if it was you had a broader critique of more paddles like bench paddles and stuff like that. So as far as the agility goes, I already talked about that. Definitely an A. I don't give A pluses anymore. I just A is good as good as it gets. If I did give it any paddle an A plus, it would be this. As I already mentioned, the agility of this paddle is unmatched. I have only reviewed one or two other paddles that I can compare it with that can even compete with it. And this is one of the areas, again, where the Begali paddles shine. As far as customer service goes, again, this is where if I gave an A plus, I would definitely do so for customer service. So I'm giving it an A. Begali is a very reputable company, and the owners take pride in their work. They make themselves very prominent and available to help customers have a wonderful experience. They are very personable, very friendly, and very responsive on social media and email and other aspects. So they'll be there to help you every step of the way if you have any issues at all. As far as the enclosure goes, I think that this is a pass. It does have it's covered. It does have this little plastic thing. Although I wouldn't say it's great. I think it does meet the criteria that I have, and so it's enclosed and protected. I'm going to give it a pass. As far as mounting goes, the mounting option, I'm going to give it a B because it has the leg attachment. I usually give a C for the if it just has like something like the 3M Velcro stuff, that's usually a C. If there's a little bit more thought and effort put into it, then I up it to a B. And then if there's multiple ways in which something can be mounted, then of course it gets the A. So this is a B. The mounting option on the leg attachment there is good. And as a bonus, again, it lays well flat, and so it's going to be a good paddle for you on a picnic table or on a regular fold-up table or something. As far as the beauty, I'm going to give it an A. I think Begali did a beautiful job with this design. I really like how you can close this up here, and it protects the paddles so that it's very rugged and durable, but yet it's still a very slick and beautiful design. I definitely think this is an A paddle as far as the beauty goes. So that wraps up my thoughts on this key. Let's get it plugged into the radio and give it a test run. Okay, everybody, thank you for joining me. That's it for the Begali magnetic traveler light iambic paddle. I was really reluctant to review this paddle in my series just for the mere fact that I felt like it was a little bit too heavy and a little bit too bulky to fit within the parameters of the videos of the keys that I have in this series. It was a little bit outside of the niche, but actually I am really glad that I did take the time to review this paddle, because I actually want to buy one. I think that it's a really good paddle. If you can overlook the bulkiness and the size for those of you who are backpackers, I think that this paddle would really be a great paddle for you. I appreciate you all joining me for another portable Morse code paddle feature, and don't forget that this is actually a series, and so there are more paddles to come. A few people have reached out to me with suggestions, as well as I do still have 2 or 3 in the lineup that I still need to get to. And lastly, let me remind you that premium members do get early access to this video and others like it on occasion, and also have access to giveaways that I run about once a month. So if you're interested, go ahead and hit that join button below and become a premium member. And with that, I'm going to say thank you again. I really appreciate you joining me, and I will catch you on the next review coming up in about a month. 73, everybody. Take care. Bye.